This one's about Jace, okay? They're making the YouTuber, it's like UCVGX or something like that. We've watched a couple of his videos. He said that, or at least in the title, we'll get to see what he actually says in the video, that Jace snitching actually didn't affect his career. Now, I have somewhat of a different take. I do think Jace is super successful no matter what, even after the snitching, because he's just making good music, especially he dropped like an 80s almost like disco, or you know what I mean, like pop album. It was very good. Like some Going to Mars, that song was very good. It's good for like more mainstream type listeners. But I have to say, I think that after 556, he was getting that G Herbo, I think, feature. And it was going to be a Lyrical Lemonade music video. But after snitching and all that information started spreading, I think that cosign got redacted. Hashtag Glock 40 spaz. And like that obviously hinders his career, because now he's kind of not stuck in underground. Because I think you can actually have a hit that surpasses, like look at Cochise. He's had mega hits that hit, like, I don't know if it hit Billboard, but it's in like 2K and even Rocket League. I hear his song randomly while I'm playing video games. And so obviously Jace makes good enough quality music to blow up on TikTok, and therefore it can hit mainstream, and it has, especially with 556. And so, but he just doesn't get like that same association or like cosigns from the big rappers. So I do think it hindered it, but I think he's still chilling. He's still making good money.
As I've said millions of times, I listen to a lot of rap music. If you also listen to a lot of rap music, I hope you have enough common sense to know that rappers sometimes...
And by the way, there is an argument to be had that it actually could have helped his career, and that if he got the G Herbo Lyrical Lemonade music video, that like he could have spiked up and then like fell off, because sometimes when you grow so fast, you're not ready for it. But he does have a large discography, so maybe that might not have affected him. But I'm just saying there is an argument for that.
Sometimes like to stretch the truth, even lie. I know, crazy, right? This may be a shock to you, but some rappers don't actually do what they say they do. Like whenever any of these underground rappers say shit like, we gonna shoot him, or I got more money than yada, 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 I don't pay it any attention, because to be honest, it just makes the song sound cooler. I get it. Like, imagine if every rapper was just honest in their music and couldn't lie. Most of these niggas talking about, oh, I'm a killer and I'm so rich, couldn't say that shit.
And by the way, the K-Swab allegations that you're saying, like, those allegations are about that girl that we already discussed, like the OnlyFans chick. Like, she was chilling there. She was not trapped there at all. She was ordering like Uber Eats. He didn't trap her at all. And also, she told me the story. It was about another dude. It was, I'm not going to name them, but like it was in Texas. So it wasn't about K-Swab. I saw her once again. K-Swab was literally asleep. She could have left at any time. She was not trapped there at all.
Shit anymore. My point being, some rappers perceive themselves as gangsters, real G's, move in silence type shit, and then they go and snitch. Now, I'm gonna say something that you may not agree with, but it is what it is. I don't give a fuck if you snitch, bro. Real talk, and maybe this is just because I'm a civilian, but like, if I'm in a jam and let's say my boy kills someone, days later they arrest me on those charges and go like, so...
I agree. I can separate the music from the person, but there is like an element of branding that when you are a snitch, especially in the rap game, but also when you're like rapping about you're doing criminal activities, but then you're a snitch, it's so contradictory that it affects it, and people become fans of brands rather than just songs. So it affects like the whole discography, not necessarily just like one song that blows up. So I think that's like apparent in a lot of rappers that have a bad rep. Maybe not like snitching, but like like 6ix9ine. People stopped caring about him, right? Even though he had some bangers back in the day.
So did you do it? I'm gonna be like, no. Now am I gonna say who did? Honestly, it gets tricky because in my heart, if I know I didn't do it, they wouldn't find any evidence of me doing it. But if there's a case they can build around me and I'd go down for murder, yeah,
What's wrong with snitching if you have a good reason to defend yourself? Well, if you read the police report with Jace, he's the one that shot the gun and then he gave up names. So that's why that was bad. So like, as a character trait, like I'm not going to be friends with that person. I don't think he would want to be friends with me anyway from all the times that he attacks me online. But as like a musical artist, I'll still listen to it. I don't care. If it sounds good, it sounds good.
Snitching. I don't give a fuck. I'm not doing time for nobody. I don't even need a McDonald's meal. I'll give you this man's social security number. I'm straight telling, bro, because I'm not doing time for nobody. I want to talk about 2 cases.
I'm not doing that. I'm not snitching on anybody, even if it isn't really like, I don't know. I don't think I'd ever even be in the position where police are questioning me about a certain individual, because I just don't associate with those types of people. Like, we just don't even click. Like, it's just a different mind state. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna go shoot this person. Like, that's never come up in a conversation ever.
This is where I just feel like the snitching doesn't matter. Starting off with Jace. So in 2022, Jace got into a situation with Summers, Beezy, and Desire. And long story short, they went to get their money back from a certain person. And keep in mind that this dispute was over, from what I read, $1,000. Like, baby money, pretty much. Things did not go well because Summers was mad, so when they were outside of Jace's apartment complex, things just went horribly wrong. Jace ended up getting charged with aggravated robbery and possession of a prohibited weapon. Now, because Summers basically asked Jace to do this favor for him, in a sense, it wasn't his fault. Now, yes, he chose to be there and do whatever it is that he did.
Well, so Summers was the one that was trying like to get his money back. I think it was like a fake lien plug or like a scam or something. But Jace, again, is the one that shot the gun. I think he was just trying to back up his homie, because remember, he just got the Summers feature. But at the same time, like, I feel Jace. Like, he kind of got screwed over in the situation. And if Summers isn't turning himself in and been like, yo, it was me, it was my fault. Like, maybe Jace did have justification to be like, nah, it wasn't me. Fuck this other dude, Summers, bro. He was the one that did it all.
But in his mind, he felt like it wasn't on him. So when the police were basically interrogating him, he told them everything that he knew. In turn, he snitched. Now, fast forward past all the antics of everyone finding out about this information, it almost seemed like he wasn't going to have a career after all this transpired. But no, that's not what happened at all. In fact, I would even go on to say that this situation actually helped him in the long run. Now, keep in mind, when everyone found out about this, he was getting posted on all the underground type rap pages. Bob and Lamb spoke.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people care. Like, it's kind of just a meme. Like, how many times do people talk online about like hating on someone, even though they actually listen to their music? Like, all the Trippie Redd haters, you can't say that you didn't listen to you didn't tune into that Trippie Redd album.
About it. I mean, if you were around for this time, you definitely remember all of this going down. All the memes. He even went live on Instagram and explained that he has a daughter and he just did what he had to do. It was just making rounds.
Facts. I respect that. I do.
Pretty much. After all of this happened, Jace would continue to drop music. Now, the crazy thing is that everyone was like, oh, Jace is done. Jace is done. His career is finished. But like, look at the numbers for this man on streaming platforms. It's clear he's definitely not finished. And I mean, I don't know if he bought this shit, but you know.
That is a rumor that's been going around. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, no, I mean, if you just, regardless of like the actual streaming numbers, the conversation around his name, he's still hot in the underground for sure. Like, he's kind of like separated himself a little bit, and that he has his own fan base. Like, he's not in the, I don't know, like he's got his own single fan base, whereas a lot of the other ones kind of like share fans in a way. You know what I'm saying?
These are pretty good numbers for someone who had a career-ending moment or whatever. The snitching stuff basically did nothing. Did it put him in the category of a rat? Maybe, but like, who cares?
I liked his point that maybe it helped his career in that, like, being a rat or just any negative news explodes more than positive news. And therefore, like, all the media pages, like people finding out about Jace through this negative news of snitching, like maybe he got more fans like that, because most rap listeners are not like street, you know, they're not street people. So they're not, they don't care either. But they found out about a new person, they checked out his music and were like, oh shit, he's actually fire. And he has cosigns from all these rappers.
fuck's sake, bro, I care about the music. Now, if you want to hate on Jace, that's fine, you know, you do you, but the thing is, what he did doesn't matter. It didn't make his music any worse. It doesn't affect you as a listener in any way, shape, or form. The average listener isn't gonna go like, oh man, he snitched, I can't listen to him anymore. Like, if you really think that way, you're a fucking NPC, bro. I mean, his songs have went viral on TikTok like more than 3 times. 556, Come Here, Oh Lord, and people are completely aware of the fact that he snitched or whatever, so it's like, it's clear that the music just always overpowers whatever negative aspects is surrounding somebody's name. I mean, that's just how the industry is. Like, in my last video, I spoke about how certain
So maybe if you're an underground rapper, if you want to separate yourself, stop doing this opium all black shit and just snitch on the homies or fabricate a story, and maybe you'll blow up, bro. Because there aren't that many snitches in the rap game. It's like Gunna, 6ix9ine, Jace. I know other people got papers, but nobody really cares about them. But I guess that means that maybe no one cares about certain artists that snitch. So maybe everything I just said doesn't even matter.
Artists are just bad people or whatever. But guess what? They still got careers, because let's be honest, most people just listen to music for the music. I can see it now. Oh, you're glazing. You're glazing. Yeah.
Nah, he's spitting fact.
Here you are watching my video in my comments telling me that, like, whatever, man, it is what it is. I love Jace's music, truly. So it's kind of like, of course, I'm gonna be a little biased on this one. So we're gonna switch over to someone whose music I don't love as much, but my point still stands. Gunna pretty much agreed to testify in the YSL case. That is, if he's called to do so. Now, this to me isn't snitching, at least at this very moment, because at this point, he hasn't pointed the finger at anyone specifically. But clearly, to most people, that doesn't.
I think with the Gunna thing, we already discussed, like, yeah, it's kind of like in between. He didn't really snitch by pointing the finger at Thug, but by the words that he stated, and Young Thug being the leader of YSL, but saying YSL was a gang also, like, that kind of pinned him. So it's in between, but it also pinned Thug a little bit.
Matter, since he did technically admit that YSL isn't just a record label, but an actual criminal organization, allegedly. The thing that's super crazy though is that Gunna is so mainstream. Like, think about how many people listen to Gunna. Gunna is like one of the
fact that Gunna's album has done so well, and that one Yup song, what is it called? I can't remember, but I ended up adding like Go Crazy to my playlist. Like, that album is living so well and it's actually doing way better than Thug. So that is literally just proof that nobody cares, or most people do not care about the snitching. They're going to listen to the music regardless, or at least the mainstream audience doesn't care.
Safest rappers you can play around white people and they'll still enjoy it. Like, I don't know how else to really explain it. Most people who aren't African American, when I ask them who their favorite rapper is, they're either going to say Gunna or 21 Savage for some reason. And the thing about all that snitching shit surrounding his name doesn't matter, because they focus on the music. Like, genuinely be real for a second, bro. Let's say your favorite rapper that says all this shit about how they're gang.
I also think that it helps that Gunna already had like a fire catalog, and therefore he has the credibility. Like, people are going to tune into his music no matter what, just because like they already liked a bunch of previous songs. So if he was kind of like, since he is kind of deemed in this street type rap, kinda, even though he already claimed he's not that kind of guy, but like he's in the Atlanta scene with like Lil Baby came up with him. Maybe if it was 2017, it would have affected his career, but now he's already established, so it didn't affect him too much.
Thanks to this and how they kill that, went and told on a bunch of people, literally pointing the finger at them. Are you really gonna stop listening to them because they did that? I just hope to God you thought in your head no. Because if you didn't, you're a fucking idiot. Young Thug and Gunna dropped projects seemingly right next to each other, and Young Thug's first week sales, even though first week sales do not fucking matter at all, I really wish y'all would stop talking about that shit, a little bit better than Gunna's project with literally no features. You wanna know why? Because music just dominates what makes around the artist name, like I said earlier. I mean, if you make good music, you could literally be a serial killer and people will still love you. I mean, look at it.
That might help, actually. I mean, we already saw with Cardi and Narcissist, and like he's wearing wife beaters. The mom of his child, his newborn second child, and nobody gave one fuck, because again, he had that catalog where people actually liked it, so they're willing to sweep it under the rug. And people did like King Von when he was literally he was snitching on himself, saying everything that he did.
You know, can we as hip-hop creators and listeners and fans please stop acting like snitching is as bad as somebody doing some other shit? Because you've got assaulters, murder.
I do think, yeah, I was about to say, the worst thing is not even snitching or murdering people. Like, if something comes out with, like, say the ASAP Bari shit, or even worse with like children, that's honestly, I'll stop listening to their music after that. Like, that's just not okay. I'm not supporting that. So yeah, the snitching though, like, it's still technically, it's not according to the street code, but like legally and morally, it's still abiding by the rules of humanity. So I think that's why it's still kind of okay. But the other shit that I said, nah, I ain't messing with that.
Murderers. And another word that I definitely cannot say on YouTube is artists, and yet here we are whining about niggas who snitch. Get a fucking grip, man. And it's so crazy because hip-hop fans are just so hypocritical, because it's like people will go and praise Tory Lanez, King Von, Trey Songz even for making good music or some shit, even though
the other one, R. Kelly, I don't know too much about that case though, but it was younger. I never really listened to too much R. Kelly though, so it doesn't even affect me.
One of them shot a woman. One of them killed at least 7 people, and it's confirmed. And one of them, oh my God, I can make a whole video about how Trey Songz might be one of the most evil people in the music industry. It's just like, for the majority of modern hip hop's lifetime, artists have been glorifying violence, materialism, and crime just to still get put on a pedestal because it sounds cool or whatever. And I get it because I'm guilty of it. But I just think that we should stop acting like snitching of all things is where the line should be drawn. I mean, if you're such a gangster, right, you can feel how you want to. I didn't grow up in the suburbs, bro. Like, I understand hood shit, but I can't just sit here and act like somebody snitching is where
I like that. I like that. It's actually gangster to just not care about what people think of you. So the real G's, they're the ones snitching on everybody and like not caring about anything, being like, I'm just doing me. I'm gonna do me. Whereas the people who actually are empaths, if you will, and like take care of everybody, you're low-key being a bitch. Nah, I'm playing, but there's nuance to it, but you get what I'm saying.
I would draw the line. Because I listen to so much underground rap in particular, 9 times out of 10, I usually have to separate the art from the artist. I mean, look at fucking Puya. Yes, his music is trash now, but at one point, his shit was fire. Like, I'm aware of how awful of a person this dude is, but when his good songs come on, I don't cut it off. I don't know, man. It is what it is. I'm out of here.
Yeah, so I'd agree with them though. I don't think Jayce's career has hindered too much. I think that maybe the potential, like the peak, kind of got ruined in that he didn't get that G Herbo cosign, or not that G Herbo is really that big, but like that was just going to be a stepping stone to get on with. I think Offset might have been on that song too. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like, to move up the ladder in the industry, like that's kind of the game in music. You got to get the cosigns and features from bigger and bigger people. You even see like Cardi doing it with getting the Drake and the Weeknd, and like that's why he's probably not giving features to Uzi or whoever it is, you know. So I think that his peak definitely got hindered, but he's still chilling. Like, he's a successful artist. Jayce is still fire. I don't care. I don't care about snitches too much. I just think it's funny that you know, like you gotta answer to it though, and answer the questions as to fans why you did it and everything, especially when you're rapping those lyrics about like I'm a gunslinger, blah blah blah. It was Spot 'em Got 'em. I think Spot 'em Got 'em was big at that time too.